Kilkenny, with 10 of last year's All-Ireland winning team, they're hot favourites, indeed, not alone to win this game, but indeed to win the championship outright.
Agus Barry Kelly, a bhail de fadóige, on Irvi, Peladóide, agus Amani, agus Schlitter Kaitisteach, agus Ahrahediantige Cork can hain, Stephen Cronin, a Mahalárpáitge, and then a clé on Manning a cup, Schlitter amach Harisha de Vline, Fevon, Ordan, Ichisoig, agus Stephen Cronin, every Cougar a Raum, after she gimmer to Lárpáitge, and Giaduir Rio, Stolem, Nidolm, Grimmershe, a Lárpáitge Hanna.
It's funny that we often see it in senior games, but not so much in minor games. Donncha Cody is gone from centre-back to right half-back. John Tennyson is at centre-back, and John Dalton, named a cornerback, has gone in full-back.
Marsin Aharhe dianta on dahe, vai Saki o Halpin, Shelebeklitter, Acha Irach Zud Sarhe, Agus Kachtamachlehe, o Lord Portke, o Gurur Anunsi, Ruhemach, Chaffetz Patrick, Gurudavwile Offach, Agus Shahuin, Korkig, Edirik Dol Anunsi. Schlitter, goed verder staat no Marsin, mag gewoon cool, er dalve goni, agus fachte gedas, en zonnige Peter O'Donovan, want ik is shoot, de Kilkenny, van de tebline, agus nog naperfatsen hier, en zon, de Kilkenny, wolte istach, Joe Cha, abole amach, en zon, gedi David McCormack, ach Sarah Hestig, en zonnige Ono Sullivan, waardoor Gorkui, agus Erik. Tachtamach na Schlitter, Dalov and so the Cork. Mark Harrington will to trust in the Portke, Agason Weische and Kiet score and Fadlaw Portke and son Anna Jaunike own Manning, the Cork and Kiet fainted.
This is the start that Cork wanted. Owen Manning getting the good pass and taking his chance with ease.
An tú sa bhí ó Cork agus tócha an fiad scór fachtacha ach tá sé mós bua san immert fós agus seachún Ronan Conway. Agus Schlitter a gáil, fachtaige, aché Schlitter buntecha agus Eric Dol Anunsi, Richie Powell. Bwlte amach ag siúd. Fachta, le achta, Barry Coleman an hibwig. Agus fachta gawrid. Fachta mach na sé Schlitter, tá berst teamplate. Wilte Pongrocht and Dave Line and so David Prendergast to Machtlish. David agus Wallafachtige o Owen Manning ach Kalish Diente again Prendergast again on Multhuid agus Puxair the Horping. Marsin, Michael Ahern, a Hokigan Council. Michael Ahern, Dimmer Sheshu, Tiny Shemar Unadi, and I Cabradorn, Fevli Negus Fehe, the Horpig, Marsin, Anavi and a Hound. Townmore Ord Wiltige, it Rona Carnoige, Ach Pachta Howl, agus Bantig, Shane Cadigan. Bach Panatevlin, Own Manning, Gahor, the Hamach Harish at the Bline, Agus Puxnassa, the Horpig, Ryan Clifford. Image and Lady Glow, Agus Gimmer Timliana, Anna Amani Fad, Agus Schnean Bine Studenson, Dennis Ring. Brian Clifford, Stachel Ashley, Fachta Gadasaka, John Dalton, Emmy Hibwig. Eiltig Agus, Anna Pashir, Dienta Unson, again. Gorkweich, Morris O'Sullivan, Wilte Egamaris, a had Hebna Live Clay. Marsin, Pokamach of Egound, Holland Grant. Raif ile éireann aige ionarig, bhí sé sa chólan aige ó chláiste bhaide I Mile Owen agus seothe Mark Harrington at so agus Díaz Bwiltige naig arhénig, éirhénig aché ceart go leor Mark a bhíchaige mar de lápáisce go dtí agus sa snébaine stóir chunig an bráthar Damien Brennan. Multoid, Ikintu, Gurulche, Castgalore, August Pa, no well, Kasha Tachtago, Joan Tevline, Beder Gowill, Overin Follalish, no well, no Niga, Castgalore. Colm Grant, Cal Moore, Father Bultige, Irish Lord Napoitke. Yes, Kilkenny, Eric Dollard on sea, Lahore and Son, Michael Fennelly. Agus an Lán Cholaí Chorcaig, Niall Horgan. Cosint fa a dhéanamh agus na Corcaí go díosa. Bhuailte amach an son ag Peter O'Donovan ach ní fada bhuail, stecha Joe na Carno ige. Ordile Isaaci agus seansa go Corcaig an a hól an son ag Kevin Canty. Kevin Canty.
A wonderful goal here by Kevin Canty from Valley Rovers, and you look at his positional sense here. He allowed Isaaci to go up and then just whipped on it first time. Beating Colm Grant in the goal, all hands up. The goalkeeper had no chance here. Look at the breaking ball here. Beautiful pull right into the net.
Masin an lasar sa bhara chut sa Hannah Hénig agus Corcaig me hechontasig, Éana Héan. Agus na Pasantóirí, Diana Magador go díosa. Ach seachún deis de Kilkenny, Pat Hartley. Bhuailte steach fachtaige James Chaffetz Patrick. Agus Calais dianta tre Marsin Puxair de Kilkenny. Rina Loive, dar no Leonta tre.
This is a beautiful goal for Cork. It's Kevin Canty's second goal. Scored a goal in the last round against Offaly. This was a real beauty.
Richie Power, a Hócaig an Puxair, Richie Soishir. Romashis, agus yet scored the Kilkenny against Richie Power. Yet Lochtakeich the Kilkenny. Ono Sullivan, a ball and Schlitter, a Macha Joe, Lorna Poitke. Agus Derek Schlitter, a Holt and Son. David McCormack, a Michael Mach a Joe and Tevline. Agus Hookschlasse, the Horpig. Barry Coleman, a Hócaig in Council, if it a Hochter a Raum, a Higimmer, Mar Lacholi, Eben a live edition. Went to Stachige, agus Sarahige, Michael Ahern. Agus Anish, she shall Kilkenny, if it had Pussant, agus Dollard on sea, Chaffetz Patrick, agus Niall Horgan, Mehe Atra, Shane O'Neill, a Taftanon, Wantamachige, the Horpig, agus Puxair, the Kilkenny. John Dalton, Saramani, he shed a panel on the O Harik Nashau, Comale Tennyson against Richie Power. Hey, John Dalton. Back at Joe the Carnoige. And on low, against Ray Wall, and Mohantasik, against Denise Rimishamach, Pat Hartley. Pat Hartley, Stach John Hole, against Anna Colino, Ilya Anna Year, against Pat Hartley.
Kilkenny beginning to settle as the game progresses. Very good score here by Pat Hartley. Had to work hard to gather possession.
Wantamach agus Bachnagadess and son again. Brendan Barry. Brendan Barry, Stachat Joe, Trevna Loive Clay.
Just a positional switch there on the Cork team as well. Brendan Barry is now on the 40. Kevin Canty, the goal scorer, is now at full forward.
Marsin, Colm Grant. Irish Lord na Poitke. It's a Mechna Joe, Mark Harrington. Dechad Lashley. Ifada Chuig. Kilkenny Guinness. Nundi David McCormack. David Amatle, Shansiga David. Ach Roada Clay Lagier. Oit Dave.
Defensively, you'd have to say that Cork have battled very well so far with players like David McCormack. Beautiful skill here by Ray Wall, or rather John Tennyson.
Owen O'Sullivan, amach godi Owen Elle, Owen Manning, Tach the Gowder, Brian Clifford, Anna Tevline, ach Puckschlasse the Kilkenny. Shane Cadigan, Arvier van Eil na Bliana na Rig, a sé gláiste Ilúna na Padrig, Drum Conroch am Bliana. Seo hé. Gwiltige, godi David McCormack. Stachanish, godi Richie Powell. Sárathe an so, ag Michael Ahern. Os an tódi chorcaí, sásta go mailo héin godísa. Eddie Norda, John Dalton, Sára Monaghy, godi Shane Cadigan. Amach Parisha Devline agus le Corpig in Council. Brian Clifford, the Nigas na Monaghy is fair davile coile Ravlien, a Monaghy in Sporadiach an Farsa. Rachan Bultige, Bravaris, Uterator agus Pucksayer the Kilkenny. Michael Fennelly, Macle Michael, Hailach Coilewil, Wally Hale, An Murad Bultige, agus an Meshe Crean a Rohin, Niveg, Ed Foril.
Well, we've almost had 12 minutes played, Micheál, and this game really hasn't sparkled into life at all in comparison with last Sunday's minor match between Galway and Tipperary. It was a fine game of hurling.
Well, beg wil Chem Oslo, ach an carta good goodisa, Nile Tanam Kianach again. Jachun Ono Sullivan, Macha Joe Lorna Poitke, agus Pat Hartley. Anon, Joe Ray Wall, ach Dolda Sood, agus Galord and Schlitter, Emehe, Amach Harisha Devli. Le Corpig in Council. Shane O'Neill. Immert idir Vianach, Valen Aspig, agus Oganach, fe Shachli and the Diagdish. Achtamachan, Lantasach, Brendan Barry, Hyde and Nahat Slot. Wilde Stachige, Shane Cadigan, Ergish Littergal, Lachtige Shane. Vanna Tevline, ach Sarahige, Owen Manning. Costin Tutsa, the Kilkenny, Peter O'Donovan, the Ligant and Schlitter, Schlauno, Lesh. Martian. Shahid on slow, a Barker Croquig, a Lorna Huide, I can see it. A Palio Stach. Colum Grant. Watch the video. Wiley Owen. Richie Powell. Chancellor Richie. Richie Gailistach and Lewis Lazarus. Katananda. Well, Ekurada Willie and son. Bertus na Corkiga and Cool Boy the Tachtamach. Owen O'Sullivan. Acha Lord the Poitke. Agus. Anna Vertich. Dienton Sonnig. Morris O'Sullivan. Morris. With Chef Adarohin, Isaki O'Halpine, Bachta Harnashin Kevin Canty, and Farafui the Cole, Agus Colleen Kevin Canty.
You can see every time the ball comes up towards Isaki O'Halpine, there's a little bit of bother, and once again, Kevin Canty's positional sense paid dividends.
Marshin, Cole in the forward. Agus Colum Grant. Hurling Lasmud and Line, Cookveather agus Dahad. Harakere the Chorkig, Mark Harrington. Agus Brendan Barry, Abolistach, Gedi Kevin Canty, Kalish Dientige Kevin. Umprehit Roada.
took more than the required number of steps. Free to Kilkenny.
John Dalton, a hócaigh counter. Agus fachta go glóte Richardson ag Richie Power. Stite hir Adalov, Schlitter Buntegó. Agus Owen O'Sullivan, a cosint gomad a chorcaig. Nachtamach. Owen Clitter gomad, macha Joe Lord na poitge. Siachuin, Kilkenny, agus John Tennyson. Erai gyda Michael Fennelly. Sarah Henson de chorcaig ag Barry Coleman. Bachta yn so, ege Owen Guinan. Owen Guinan, Joe yn fod ewro. Owen O'Sullivan. Llwyli tawg ag erish litter, agos glant ag Arish Lord na poetge. Agos Shohe Peter O'Donovan. Ach desh da Kilkenny. Erai gyda Richie Powell. Richie, ydy Eric Trafford pat ag Haim Show. Shohe Cha, Halish Dinta Cha ag Niall Horgan.
While Niall Horgan is doing reasonably well on Chaffis Patrick. Chaffis Patrick is the real danger man, as well as Richie Power. Down the middle, Kilkenny are very strong. But if they give away silly frees like this, Cork could well pay.
Richie Power, Green Gama, on I'm shoe. Then it was an Lochra if he get Kilkenny and the rig. Will take a Richie, because Queen Taylor, the Kilkenny.
Some nice skill evident here. Fine effort to catch that ball by Brendan Barry.
Kilkenny, the Dianam Nis Power, Alan Healy, agus Kalish Dinta Alan. Alan, on Anedig Homa. Ashe, the Vaclane CU Leveil, Bortloidge. Macle Dermot Healy, there no Dermot to ha in black the initial stolem. Richie Power, hócaigh counter, láiste here áin, agus an Schlitter nó, dar nó, gohfuil an Heinkeléir mar jaulid, an naide hen sé, luisin sé, bechar sin, Crinnis, chomáile se bhaid, ige Richie Power, Quinte Ele.
Two quick points by Richie Power, but you can see when he does gather possession away from his free-taking abilities, he is willing to take on the Cork defence and run straight at them.
Marsin. Queen to Voin. Aha, Atra, a lot of the Huide. Cha Fitzpatrick or Himach. Cha, Kurada Willie Gadasic, Michael Herden. Johnson Glanta. At the live edition and so. Machtige John Tennyson. John Tennyson. Wasn't Goma. Owen Manning. Manatalo, nach ni Fada Huig. Agus Anna Ruhar as Fada get Donacha Cody. Stachti Cha Fitzpatrick. Cha Umpu Temple, a bola and Clitter. Ach, het heeft nog wel gekleed.
Fine fielding here. Wonderful play by John Tennyson, who comes into this game with impressive credentials.
John Tennyson, daar nou Raunich, maar Laancholeich, die hecha aan. Gahra Rochort Ganayanach, Ronan Conway, Shelley Clitter, Ritrasna, John Dalton, Agus Isaki O'Halpine, Agus Kalish Dinte, again Alpinach, John Dalton. Marsin, John Dalton, a hócaigh counter. Oh, Harrig na Shauk. Anna Wille le cór na gaithe. Glantagus, mar a bhís ará. Cosantóirí chorcaí an Báutasan Shane O'Neill, a déanamh go magadísa, Isaki O'Halpine, imihimach a siúd. Agus brat a fábhar Kilkenny dar nó. Puck Schlesser, a Kilkenny. Shane Carrigan. Wilt ige Shane, ach sár head a chorcaig ige Stephen Cronin. Farlár Poitke. Rit Trasnanson, Peter O'Donovan. Agus inis, John Dalton. Hey John, dyr ige stop, Kevin Canty, agus a sé stop o hige. Le Cork yn Counson. Ronan Conway, a Hockwig yn Counson. Vi sé siw de raus naig I Vaili. A sé beshen y fynwr o reis, dy flient y chwyn, pe siach blian y diog. So loch y carw canis, noch tre y fianach. A dy yn y siel eisiau Counson. Ili, i'r gyma. Wylt y gydasig. Agus, wylt y stach, sar y hy. Agus, rhaid yno, le Kilkenny gan y hafoel. Ronan Conway, sianselig y Ronan, wylt y Ronan, agus cwlyn dasg y chorchwyd. Ronan Conway.
Ronan Conway here from a reverse angle, getting this clearance. There was a save here right on the line by Peter O'Donovan, and when it came out to the Bishopstown clubman out here on the left wing, he steadied himself well and judged it perfectly. Good score.
Martian, Michael Benelli, Derek Fitzpatrick, Reimschuh, Fachte, Inishig, Richie Power. Richie, Tarna Shansig, Richie, Ach, Savolig, Ono Sullivan, a Counselor. On agus, Anna Ma, we should das na Corkig. Isaki, Gaidi, Hard, Fachtige, Waltamach, Ronan Conway. If we're the plinter, O'Hienevin, agus Anna Lawson, Sundige, Ronan, Bert, Dinne Bert Kurgohige, Stachanish, the Brendan Barry. Wilte amachige siwd agus wilte roade heb na live edition. An mi an Baltason le Corkig Anna Valta, Kevin Canty and Baltason.
This was a very close call. As you can see, O'Donovan was on the line supporting his goalkeeper.
Olum Grant, in a top oil o Hienevin. Agus a ruhistach, Ray Wall. Ray Eilish Gerhaunig and Corkig. Went to the Richie Power, agus Printer Ella Egger Rich. Neil, no, Niha. Rashiad Bulliager. He's Kintig or Hev, Nirev, and Hemel Abidisha.
Good effort here by Richie Power. Top scorer for Kilkenny with a goal and 10 points out of 2 championship matches, man. That was very close.
Last modern bullet. Shohei David Prendergast. Agus stoppa higadas again Morris O'Sullivan. Agus Shohei Morris. Wiltige Morris. It did time the live clay. A yish for a mooge.
Cork seem to be a little bit anxious, Mihal. They're sending in a lot of shots. I feel that Isaki O'Halpine is a match winner inside there if they feed the ball in. Lovely skill here by Morris O'Sullivan to even have a chance of a shot at goal. Good block down.
Agus Schnell, Broher Damien Brennan. Brennan. Nach der Badenson again Michael Ahern. Or the Money, Mark Carrington, Kuradaville Afach. Agus Chancellor, Kilkenny, Dollar in on sea. Ach, Savolig a Pojo, and Havard, Ferro. Why count? It's on again, Mojo. Agus Kadayanashi, it Hickshanus, it is litter. It Hashehin, it is litter. Nishabega chance again, Ferrenton.
Well, Owen O'Sullivan decided to use the hurley here instead of possibly gathering it into the chest and tried to control it, but the forward was in very quickly on top of him. He did obviously, as you can see here, lie on the ball, and the referee is having a word with his umpires as we look at it again. Keeper really should have just gathered that cleanly, but having made the mistake, lied on the ball. Ray Wall was in very quickly on top of the keeper.
Then a question for Shen Bullis or Ray Wall. Agus Began Moltoid, Barry Kelly, allowed Krishna Moir. Hurling correct for Shenbulle or a wall homa, Marcin. Peter gur Foxer mach lechal. Puck Kerry Vader Diag.
Giving a free into Kilkenny.
Erelina Fehemeder, Richie Powell. Ook Counsa. Richie agus sé sástal lena faointe. Agus gan éí scríte réon chamáin. Ag se héad cortaí, mach go dtí Bernard Páitge. Mark Harrington, a bólan clutid trasna inis go dtí Owen Manning. Owen amach leis, isteachtaí Brendan Barry, mach curad á bhfuile, atsun ag John Tennyson, sáirithe áfach, deise ag Kevin Canty, amach inis dtí Morris O'Sullivan. Morris agus an míális. Isaki O'Halpine, cadaí ana sé, ní heperic iad bhálta, seansige Isaki. Mechtarsteach agus tóca sé faointe. Ach ní hócaig. With gasta a faointe a hógant.
Well, the very minimum that was required out of all of this was a point. Isaki, look at the way he just stepped by the challenge of Shane Cadigan. Unfortunately, Isaki miscued completely.
Colm Grant Marcin, Cáile Kilkenny, agus seo Kevin Brendan Barry. Brendan Barry agus é dearg Isaki O'Halpine a raimsú. Gus óga mór a fada ag Isaki, hemar hágus a tent agus ag Sean óg agus tú ach seo mechtarsteach. Bhfuilte macha go dtí Ronan Conway. Chalís dianta a Ronan agus puck saoir de chorpaig. Chalís dianta.
Referee indicates that there was some jersey pulling here, but let's just have a look at it again. I think it was pulling with the hurley rather than pulling on the jersey.
Morris O'Sullivan. Hócaigh Counsa. Bhfuilte ag Morris agus gan aon darú dianta ag Morris.
Where Kilkenny were expected to dominate, actually the Cork changes which brought in Owen Manning back into the team for this semi-final to midfield, and the switch of Kevin Canty and Brendan Barry has worked very well for Cork, and Kilkenny surprisingly seeming to have a few problems with John Tennyson at centre-back and John Dalton at full.
Well, Neil Kilkenny sochar ta síos a gart, seo Brian Clifford, Anna Amani mar a bhís ar áileh, luna gus na cosantóidí sfear a hocu le rábhlíonn as a chéile. John Tennyson, a tarach ag Gaunson le láimh, ach seo ríist an farcíanna Brian Clifford. Bhfuilte go maithe Brian, ach pachta go deasa John Dalton, cosantóid maithe John, ó chláiste chiaráin. Bhfuilte go dtíon bheile an báid, agus sé seall chorpaí inis a bheith cosant. Maithe Joe Lord na Páitge, Mark Harrington. Iarach sáirithe ag David Prendergast, Richie Powell, ní hecha Fitzpatrick, bhfuilte go siúd isteach inis go dtí Owen Guinan, seansaige Owen, bhfuilte go Owen agus pointe deas ag Owen Guinan.
Just 1 point between the teams, and you'd have to say Owen Guinan showed a lovely piece of skill here. Made great space for himself and availed of it by putting the slither over the bar.
Agus háinómat brise cadathe ag an multóid, Barry Kelly. Counsa me himach haris a déh líne. David Prendergast, hócaigh Counsa. Ag de hard Niall a meas na nudathe. Isteach aige, taachtamach de chorpaig, Owen O'Sullivan. Amach go dtí Owen Manning. Iarach sáirithe go deasa go Richie Powell, ach seo Brian Clifford. Bhfuilte go Brian isteach a mithe ó Morris O'Sullivan. Agus seansa tuige Kevin Canty, ach an ardianta agus Brendan Barry gáil isteach. Prendergast agus sin scéala go David Prendergast. Agus go na chamáin aige. Ach ní fada chuaige iarach. Sáirithe go Mark Harrington. Isteach a Joe an chúil an ardile Isaki. Down the way. On the all. Cork nach Dunica Vial, nach Shudunica, Ronan Conway. Last mother, own Manning. Ronan Hayne told Fay, gets printed as I get Ronan Conway.
Cork stretched their lead to 2 points, but again, Kilkenny seemed to be very slow in delivering a long ball out of defence, very hesitant. Good score, though, by Ronan Conway. Lovely skill here by David Prendergast. He's without a hurley, he's lost it. Up, gathers, puts the head down and makes a clearance.
Peladori Mahagil Quinniglish, Brian Clifford, Eridalov. Agus. Ultistach Larsley, Owen Guinan, Nachan Bertian Tershood. Agus. Barry Coleman a Cork. Barry Foss. Mialish in Eden Loy. Agus. Michael Fennelly, Matt Deshistach, Shansiga Shooter score. Michael Fennelly, Wiltiga Dassiga, Trasna Tugady, Richie Powell, Wiltiga Richie, Gas Printer Ella, the Kilkenny, Richie Powell.
Great run here by Donica Cody that set up Richie Power, and Richie's, I think he had almost goal there in his mind. Great run through, and again you can see Cork just look a little bit porous when Kilkenny run at them.
Marcin, Brian Clifford, a Hokig counter. Og slasa de Cork beter chance der nog, maar gaan om te hakadde igen Maltoid. Was jetzt so ein gaulische Steg. Wollte stachige, agus Ronan Conway, a Machtlish. Ronan, the ball and clitter, Krasna, on Huil, Bolieger. Agus Shine, Lahama.
Well, by no means a thriller. An interesting first half in the minor championship. A goal by Kevin Canty in the opening 10 minutes certainly paved the way. He's one of only 2 goal scorers in the championship so far for Cork. Cork very much point-orientated, but Kevin Canty has scored a goal and a 1-point advantage at half-time here at Croke Park. It's Cork.
And give us a winner.
I think Tip will win today. Let's try.
Alan Healy, and so. Machter in ons agus aharú in Chorcaí buirteiste agus anna haváil istigige Ono Sullivan Michael Allen gimmert de Chorcaí sa tarna le agus Mark Carrington imihin.
Yeah, just a change there at half-time. Michael Allen is on for Mark Harrington in a switch in their half-forward line. Cork obviously trying to strengthen their team there. Good save here by Ona Sullivan because he was under threat. Did very well.
Anna haváil mar a didn't tú agus Shansiga Corcaig dal áfuinte chuntasig. Fuinte bháin. Láthar na huide. Scarún na bhórne. Bhúilte isteach ige Maurice O'Sullivan agus inis tá áfuinte atra. Marcin, Colm Grant, agus Mossania, Loni Beg, and Mike Kilkenny, and so Tarnala. We have shaded the tach temple the poetry. Shin Anna Willie Amach Wiltige, Dachgedi and Lina Latasig. Wilter Stachenson, again Alan Healy, Atlanta Amach, again Michael Ahern, again Shanson, Brendan Barry. Immer to the nahat slot, the Stachgedi Kevin Canty, Shansiga Kevin Amach the Stach, Isaki Lashtig the Hevavoin, like I said, there will Maurice O'Sullivan, and Miole Maurice. Hook could be the chief hit the Horpig.
Cork looked so dangerous, and again it came from a great ball from Brendan Barry. Chance here, which was saved, I think, by the keeper in combination of that and the post, but it is a 65 for Cork.
Agus. Custom to it, Michael Ahern, a Hokwig in Council. Which issued Crave Social Naheden, Emiliana, Le Balanasik, Agus Maravis Ra, Manishechan Poitke, Son a immer den I cover the Arden, Fevlianigus Fehe. Okay. Will take a pointed ass again, Michael Ahern.
Well, centre-back Michael Ahern, the player that has impressed Sherlock Nan most, is along with Kevin Canty, are the only 2 goal scorers in this Cork team. And this, despite their 5th game in the championship. Centre-back, centre-forward, the only 2 goal scorers.
Shin. Kilkenny. Get a Arden a lead to. Little the Dalavan. After Stacharisti, Nidian for. Well, to know, Anish Gilliga Kilkenny, good he Pat Hartley. Pat Hartley, I guess, on son, Alan Healy, Heather, Michelle Lorug, Poxayer. For question, by Alan Healy, Achnivuid.
Well, I think it was a case of one of them, 2 of them, they were both going for the ball here, and I think they both kind of tripped each other as such. I think the referee made the right call.
Machine. Ono Sullivan. Hoedvek na Guihe, Satarnala. Olaf Owen, Oscarund O'Hale. Spirit the who Ovidin with Anna Walson Eric, David Prendergast. Nahorhe, again, Brian Clifford. Well, Tom Boxer, Fachte, and Balthasar, Alan Healy.
No question this time that Alan Healy was fouled by left cornerback Shane O'Neill.
Machine, Richie Power.
Some fine fielding in this game. We saw Michael Ahern do it as well in the first game. David Prendergast doing it there.
Machine, Richie Power, for Shed, Book Quintus a Hiedla, Deshigan, Yet Kalmanish, also Tarnala. Will take a Richie, indeed, the Crilly.
6th point of the match for Richie Power. Kilkenny still relying very much on frees rather than from play for scores.
Il Atara a half into Ono Sullivan. Harish Lorna Poitke. Ronan Conway. She half into Sakirla. John Dalton. She Peter O'Donovan. Emmy Hibwig, Agus Fachte again Morris O'Sullivan, Stachel Ashley, Gedi Kevin Canty, Kevin Amachlish, Isaki, Fachte Gamahege, Wultigadian another Yacha, Lagi Rachtwig Shoot, Chancellor Brendan Barry, Sorhe, Isaki, Trasnan Hul, Lacha, El Shachron.
This is an aspect of Kilkenny's game, again, that I mentioned in the first half. Defensively, they're very slow in getting rid of the ball. Cork, to their credit, we have to give them plaudits because they certainly have had their chances here. And they keep the pressure on when Kilkenny are trying to clear.
Richie Power, Rohistach, Shahe, Cha Fitzpatrick, Harnashgudi, Richie. Richie Stachel Ashley, Yachshani, Stack, Hossanta, Horkui, Brian Clifford. Schlitter, Eredalov. Brendan Barry, Cork, Agus Owen Manning. Owen Manning. Will to Eleha Hulige. Will Kalish Dienta, Einish. Pucksayer, the Kilkenny. Richie Power and Vaishe Puinte idir y siacht. Wiltig Richie agus a screen and come on.
Same as at half-time, Cork just with their noses in front by the narrowest of margins. Richie Power now with 7 points in this semi-final.
Shachgin as Naigin, Gudisa. Agus Kilkenny. Edin Unsi, Nisavo, Inish the Tarnala. Namar V Sikirla. Wulte Stach, Gudi Ongainen, Vegas, Wulte, Hatniha, Wulte, no, Wulte Ershachron again. Ray Wall. Cork agus a gawn fan Keen, eigen te, le pwynt foin. Le Cork yn counter. Stephen Cronin. Here, Brian Clifford. Agus Dermot Ring, Banish Door, Dierig an Akilish. Drachaun. Sarah Henson get nog a Cody. Cork Koshe, Correferonocha, Agus Poxayer.
No question here that Donncha Cody was fouled. Tripped as he was trying to make a clearance.
Rav Ille Eden, le Clash de Heroin, Emiliana. Agus ahead of Fiachan to Tsunnewood. To get yes. Chance to get David McCormack. Ach, Sarah Higgadas and son again, Niall Horgan. Niall Fevru offach. Chance to get Kilkenny, Gachal, Wilte, Puck Cook Vedrigas chief hit Michael Fennelly.
First time really that we've seen Cork under pressure. Niall Horgan not clearing and it deflecting off a Cork player out for a 65.
Martin Deschele ag Richie Power. Stal go Pat Hartley chydamachi ach Richie Power. Agus aharathe is tócha tí sa cheann again Roger Damien Brennan. Richie Power. Wilte go Richie ach ní rebetáile Richie an Baltasar.
I suppose we should point out as well, Micheál, about the breeze here in Croke Park. I've been trying to keep an eye on the flags, and sometimes it's blowing from left to right, other times it's the other direction, so you can't actually make a major declaration on the weather here. It's a swirling breeze, very difficult for these young miners.
Stemmer ha, Vashikatach. Shintianta Gadas again, on the day. Wilte Trasna, Maris O'Sullivan, Jonah Carnoy, Sarah Higgadas, Colin Grant. Anna Napsonair, Owen Manning. Drachaun, Richie Power, Hanson, Quinta the Richie. Agus. Nish Prendergast. Wilte Amacha Gashud, Goody. Ray Wall. Matt Gleshistach. Halish Dentonson, go follow Sachid. Tarakid. Again. Michael Ahern.
Ray Wall being fouled here by Michael Ahern.
Martin Deschele ag Richie Power. Shachgin Godisa and Waishan Tochtu Kaun. Chance Mahige. Richie Power agus pointe Iveriho.
Sides level, and they can thank the free-taking ability of Carrick Shocks. Richie Power, as you said, Micheál, 8 points now to his personal tally.
Martin O'Sullivan, Abola Amach, Gideon Inadi, Michael Allen, Mach Harishade of Line, Agus Puckschlasse, the Kilkenny.
It's very dull actually here now in Croke Park, but no rain as of yet. Well, there is obviously a few drops, but judging from our vantage point here, very little of it. Just seems to be a little mist coming in.
Peter O'Donovan, Chuslan and Homed, Pobbleskull, Crave Bean a Hayden, Buetinis Tushkim Lianaka. Agus Pucksair and a Huil, the Kilkenny, Cook Vedras Tahadamach on the Moide Hain. John Tennyson, Ceann Mór fada. Histeach an sa, tá David McCormack. David. A bhfuil isteach a láslí, ach sáda go deas ige Michael Hurling. Clanta ige Michael. Gudíon de bhealach an báid. David Prendergast. Ryan Clifford a tarach ir higiad iirecht agus machar se de blin. Donna Lucy take a an Cork ige Cork agus Stephen Cronin imimehead an báid.
Just a change in the Cork half-back line. Donna Lucy from Bandon now coming in to join Michael Ahern and Brian Clifford. Kilkenny are warming up Maurice Nolan, scorer of 2 points in the previous championship matches, obviously trying to change their attack.
Marcin, Puckschlasse, the Kilkenny. Donnacha Cody, went to Gadasika, Goody Richie Powell. Richie Powell, Ragasana, Faintiger, Richie Powell.
Kilkenny are in front, and again it's the name of Richie Powell taking the sideline cut, and this is one of the best points of the match. We can see from our camera position at the far side, reverse angle.
Agus aharúid in Kilkenny, David McCormack imimehe, agus Maurice Nolan takahe in the báid. Maurice a bhí gimmert níos túiscileach, se Peter O'Donovan. Fanna taobh líne, sára hiige Ón O'Sullivan ach imimehe buig. Winter go, agus anna bhartaíocht dianta an son, ige Barry Coleman. Well, Neil, tusaithe chorcaí déanamh chomas na tarna le, agus a bhíidir sa chéad le. Sean Fitzpatrick. Bachta get se, agus anna dhéise get se, agus sin pointe das do Kilkenny.
Sean Fitzpatrick becomes the third Kilkenny forward to score in this semi-final. Owen Guinan and, of course, the aforementioned Richie Powell. Sean Fitzpatrick again comes in with big credentials into this match. It's his first in the semi-final.
Carta good, dí sé siúd ar aus an ydig. Agus Pucksair an son de Kilkenny. Donnacha Cody. Dúla har da súd a bheith ma, agus sné hócaig an counter. Agus Dennis Ring inis agus beidir imní teachtaid, sleánacha an dédig, háfainte an giadhváte na naig Kilkenny. Donnacha Cody. Wiltig go maithige imimehe ó Brian Clifford. Agus fachtaige Richie Powell. Richie Bullen Clifford go Holland an son goí Pat Hartley agus Pat pointe eile the Kilkenny.
This is a great score, Micheál. All created by the vision of Richie Powell. Crossfield ball sent straight across over towards Pat Hartley, and Hartley scores his second point.
Emmer bheith súil ar chúla chin an son ige Richie Powell. Pucksair, gnóthaithe an son, ige Corcaig ige Onadaí, Donna Lucy. Agus Rália Corcaig, an bhearna a leidú, Maurice O'Sullivan, a hócaig an counter. Ook sé puck na saoire anna bha an ag chunta chláid, na chunta héana bhartaí agus an counter leis, bhfuilte go maithige.
Maurice O'Sullivan from Ballyhay, club rich in tradition just outside Charleville in North Cork. And Maurice O'Sullivan brings Cork just a little bit closer, keeps them in contention.
Háfainte, Colm Grant, ní feice. Agus stóilm go bé Ronan Conway, a chuir count san amach. Marcin, le Kilkenny. agus an bráthir Damien Brennan agus Eric Sprague in spráid a húrt de idir Kilkenny a siad áfaintach an tusig tas dyn wyg yr airi nes y hiach an tusig dynach y Cody mar sin Gwylte ige dynach ach sarhe ige Dana Lucy Dana y lecha chŵl gyda Shane O'Neill agus imehemach an son Ronan Conway.
You can see here there's an effort to try and get a little bit of an edge. Croke Park pitch is so even.
Mark Picker ige dynach an son, a Mark Hain. Hele heen, Stachty Fitzpatrick. Rasnan Chŵl, Cawn Dain Sherach, agus Slawn Owen O'Sullivan. Ach, Owen Fos. Tachtamach lehe Shane O'Neill. Plantige Shane. Maras O'Sullivan, Fachtige Dasige, Peter O'Donovan, Corrohige Maras, Maras Amachtish Stach, Anna Yeshige Maras, Wilte Stach John Chŵl, ach, well. Bí nartige í siú de húrt leis níos a hia ach léir gin. Ina dí de chorcaig sin éon son, Diarmuid Doris agus Ronan Conway imihim.
This is a fine catch here by Maurice O'Sullivan. He also has the ability to skip by Peter O'Donovan here. Just his final shot, just not up to scratch.
Dynach o Cody Rehmach. Gwyltige gyda David Prendergast. Rasnan Chŵl agus Niall Horgan. Siasaf an Owyd. En y Luterator. Pachte again Inadi, Morris Nolan. Morris Nolan, amach gyda Richie Power agus Gwyltige siwd agus Elboliager. Wel, fi sians ma fwyntige ach ni rhaid English.
And again, that man, Richie Power, always available, always creative.
When it counts on Hornocht and Glue, they're me hart on the Quilly. John Tennyson, the Cossent. Haar nationish gyda Peter O'Donovan. Peter Fanatef Lean agus Maurice Nolan. Cork Goma. The Kilkenny. Richie Power, Chonna Counsa a Hogant. Ile Giergama a Richie. Ah, Imoni Anish Gilula Fad. Well, take a Richie, because Illino Gana and Ile, Quinty every day.
Well, he really has dominated this game, both from play and from the free-taking perspective.
Martin Hain en Holovain ha atra, agus Ono Sullivan, Bolan Clitteramach, Shahe O'Neill, On Gainen, Chansage, agus Painted, Nafashik, again Kilkenny.
Well, this player as well, alongside Richie Power, looks the most dangerous Kilkenny forward this afternoon, getting away, skipping away from the challenge. Good score.
Martin, score a tastal o Cork, contact ar nash, Nilian on Welchin, Brian Clifford, Curadavwille, a Brian Gortehe, Dachta Gaude Dafach, Shane O'Neill, agus Desha Hurt again, Multoid, with the Vertico, Huhuhin, Brian Clifford and son, Gortehe Gama, agus Adrabe Pat Hartley, Nilisagum, Nihe, Achta Brian Gortehe.
This was a clash just for the ball here. Brian Clifford coming out the worst of it.
Marsin, Barry, Kelly, a tour dish dan Dahev, Tachu heen. Agus Cosúil go bhfuil Brian Clifford gortathe go maith. Shane Cadigan takeithe chuige hén. Nó ní hé ach Alan Healy. Alan Healy.
Alan Healy, the left half forward, and Brian Clifford colliding there. And you can see the two of them certainly felt that clash. But Brian Clifford is the one that's still requiring some medical attention.
Anasta fiúil fad Clifford agus Sinead na Ránóidí de Kilkenny, Joe Dunphy, Joe Hennessy, Tony Maher agus Brian Waldron, Brian de Waldron. Agus iad súd ní sa hástal láthar na huirí, mar go bhfuil rána cotíantachta I mithe chunta sig an moltóir chuinn slitar a chahabhaisteach na huirí. Chaitisteach aige. Agus deis aige Kilkenny. Hurlish, Richie Power. Trough Hansen Baltus and Richie. Donna Lucy. Isaki O'Halpine. Schlauna Huig. Isaki Harnash. Rahimachatsa, Peter O'Donovan. Agus Yechentlish, Morris O'Sullivan. Isaki, Schlauna Hechan Taloon. Agus Puck, Schlassa, de Kilkenny. Peter O'Donovan. Fobbelskull. Chuslan and Chomid. Frachaun, Morris O'Sullivan. Bollerstach. Ach, le Corkig I cawn oer hisio. Marsin, Dishige far Valley he. Morris O'Sullivan, wach. Elegantly Donna Lucy and Council Hogan. We're hitting the bound.
Cork are hoping that this will be cut in around the house, and they're obviously intent on trying to get a goal out of this.
Well, Chodach Shanam Sachloha. Down das ard bultige. Rasna on Hole ach Emehemu.
Just reflecting there on this Kilkenny performance, Richie Power with 10 points. Hart Hartley, the midfielder, with 2. Chaffis Patrick and Owen Guinan on the full forward line with a point each. And certainly he dominates this Kilkenny team.
Richie Power, agus echt score all the Gadisa, Colin Grant. And Lone, Ibrahim Gaunson. Chansiga Corkig, Golden on sea. Tultigadas, Ishtach, and so, Gadi, in the deal, Doris. Ja, Kilkenny agus Anna Chossant. Ach, Puck Cúig Vedar agus Chief hit. Ach, tá Michael Allen Edadalov gortathe. Michael Allen gortathe.
Diarmuid Doris from Glen Rovers. Look at that for great defending by Donncha Cody. Doris from Glen Rovers actually comes into this game after some wonderful performances with Glen Rovers in the City Championship in Cork. But great defending by Donncha Cody.
Michael Allen Edadalov. Alan O'Connor takeithe báid, Michael Allen gortathe I mithe an báid, Allen a bhí gimar de lár páirce leis na Pilladóirí.
Yeah, you're dead right, Micheál. Alan O'Connor is one of the dual stars in this Cork minor team.
Michael Ahern, Marsin, Hocuige Council. Wiltige Michael, agus Puinte Tastal, ach, ní bhaid. Sníon Taharú a háidíanta cup. Ganaon dehinnis, Kilkenny inis. Áinómad brishe cadathe ag an moltóid. Cuman na mahasara, go bhíad a bheith sa chluiche canis. Fitzpatrick. Wiltesteach a Joe na Carnoige. Agus. Tália Corcaig. Donna Lucy. Wiltige siúd godi Ono Sullivan. Ono agus a iarach táirithe ag Morris Nolan. Agus caithfidh go moltóid I ceansa isteach atra. Barry Kellinson. Vannig slittersa, chaithfidh isteach atra. Morris Nolan agus Ono Sullivan, néna chéile. Bachta ag Ray Wall. Iarach túd táirithe ag Kevin Canty. Donacha Cody. Wiltige Donacha. Kevin Canty. Amachanson godi Barry Coleman. Count Fada Isaki Gaidi Gahar. The Stechanish godi Morris O'Sullivan. Cola Tasdal Waha. Achni Vaisheda and Unwide. Beder Gavaidisht. Diarmuid Doris. Sagasashi is in it down. Diarmuid Doris. Cool the hot kick.
Cork are back in the match. And all the talk about Diarmuid Doris comes through here, but you have to credit Morris O'Sullivan for creating the chance. But look at that lovely little flick for Diarmuid Doris.
Agus inis, ní lánach an fuinte bhain. Háin ómad brishe, cadathe ag an moltóid.
Just watch the flick here to beat the keeper, Michal. Lovely skill by Doris. Just a lovely little touch.
Well, Kilkenny, Richie Power, pass me him away. Sáirithe an son ag Shane O'Neill. Bachta Harnash. The Kilkenny ag Richie. Fitzpatrick, iarach túd sáirithe. Nis Núriamh ag an dátheh. Donna Lucy. Corradabile. Chance ag Kilkenny. Wilte isteach an son ag Ray Wall. Ach an Counson Curamú ag Ray. Marsin an chluhidir rá cheanna me agónaí. Anam tacahi is a chluhir dead here. And bráthid inis at a Chossarísh, Damien Brennan.
This is the reverse angle on that goal. Morris O'Sullivan doing all the hard work. Doris had to beat the keeper. Look at just the way he did it. Beautiful.
K.O. ag chiad scoreile an bhaid géan tub. Well, Kilkenny, aha, an unsaí. Wilte Jonah Carnoige, sáirithe, Brian Clifford. Srehe Brian. Níorach Fitzpatrick a churda. En fuinte bhain, Paraspáide ag Kilkenny, agus annach napsan éir ar fadan san ag an Belladóid, Alan O'Connor, Alan a meachtasteach. Chance fós ag Corcaig, a chestopathe. Kevin Canty. An na mánaíocht, fanna talóna inis, grámid it núlathe. Wilte isteach ag Alan Healy. Ach Curamú ag Alan, Marsin, fós, Kyle Hans ag Corcaig, Tachtar Nash, agus aharúnis ir an Kilkenny. Alan Healy I mehe, Austin Murphy takahe ar a board the Kilkenny.
Fine catch by Alan O'Connor.
Ono Sullivan, sin an am brishe, nóma teile fáca fós. Nis Núriamh an dátheh, Fitzpatrick, Brian Clifford, Ó Bhaga, Stechal Ashley. Agus anna yeisinis ag Kilkenny agus bine in I he, Curamú ag Ray Wall. Well,
Just about 30 seconds of added time left, Michal.
Nis Núriamh. Chance fós ag Corcaig, Ono Sullivan. Ach an nadóg séit ag an moltóir, gan an dáin ómad a stíg, agus an bhartíint ag Corcaig le pointe ag Kilkenny le pointe bhain.
Words like workmanlike will be used to describe Kilkenny, because they really had to dig deep without ever being over-impressive. But Cork, to their credit, fought back brilliantly with that Galway in the All-Ireland minor final of 2003 by the narrowest of margins. Kilkenny 15.
I think players